What if I told you the key to controlling anyone isn't force, it's subtle permission? You don't have to manipulate someone in one move. You just need to get them to say yes once, because once they do, they'll keep saying yes, even when it goes against their own interests. This is the foot in the door technique used by cult leaders, salespeople, abusive partners, and governments. This technique allows anyone to influence behavior, bypass resistance, and reshape someone's decisions, one small step at a time. By the end of this video, you'll understand how it works, why it's effective, real-world examples, and how to use or defend against it. The foot in the door technique is a psychological strategy where you get someone to agree to a small request, and once they do, they're far more likely to comply with a larger one. Why? Because saying yes once makes the brain want to stay consistent. Saying no later would mean admitting we were wrong the first time. The mind wants to justify our decisions. We think, if I said yes before, I must agree with this. This need for cognitive consistency makes us repeat behaviors even when uncomfortable. Over time, small agreements lead to big compliance. It's manipulation through momentum, and it works almost every time. This technique works because of three psychological forces. First, commitment and consistency. Humans want to appear consistent. Once we agree to something, we feel pressure to stay aligned with that decision. Changing our mind feels wrong, so we continue even when it becomes uncomfortable. Second, cognitive dissonance. When we say yes to something small, we need to justify it to ourselves. I must believe in this person. I must support this idea. That mental justification leads us to accept bigger asks. We want to believe we're making choices, not being manipulated, so we double down. Third, obedience conditioning. It works like a staircase. One small yes leads to another. The asks grow gradually so nothing feels extreme. By the time the final request comes, we've walked ourselves to that point. It doesn't feel like control. It feels like a natural next step, but it's manipulation. Let's break it down with three powerful real-life examples. First, sales. A door-to-door rep says, "Can I show you something for 60 seconds? You agree. Then they ask, "Would you like to see the full version?" Then, "Would you like to order?" You've gone from a small yes to handing over your money. Second, cults. No one joins a cult overnight. They start with, "Come to a meeting." Then, "Can you help pass out flyers?" Then, "Can you attend a retreat?" Then it's donations, isolation, devotion. The follower never jumped. They were walked. It started with one harmless yes. Third, abusive relationships. Manipulators don't demand control all at once. They start with, "Text me when you get home." Then, "Stop talking to that friend." Then, "Let me check your phone." Slowly, they gain control. The victim agrees, one step at a time, until they're isolated and obedient. So how can you use this technique to control others? First, start with a harmless ask. Something easy, impossible to say no to. "Can I ask you a quick question? Do you mind giving your opinion?" These small requests open the door. Once the person says yes, they're more likely to say yes again. Second, anchor their identity. Make the person feel like their agreement reflects who they are. "You're such a helpful person. People like you always do the right thing." Once they accept that identity, they'll want to maintain it, especially in front of others. Identity is a powerful motivator. Third, increase the requests gradually. Each ask should be slightly bigger than the last, but never large enough to trigger alarm. You're guiding them step by step. This is how you move someone from a simple favor to full compliance, without ever triggering resistance. It feels natural to them. Now, how do you protect yourself from this kind of manipulation? First, recognize momentum. If you've said yes once, pause before the next ask. Ask yourself, would I agree to this if it were the first request? This single question can snap you out of the pattern and give you back your control. Second, break the chain. Just because you said yes once doesn't mean you have to keep saying yes. You are allowed to change your mind. You don't owe anyone your continued compliance. Saying no, even if it feels inconsistent, is better than walking yourself into full manipulation. Third, watch the escalation. If the requests are getting larger, stop and evaluate. Where is this leading? Am I being conditioned? Understanding. The pattern lets you stop it. When you see the staircase forming, you can step off before it leads somewhere dangerous. The foot-in-the-door technique is subtle, powerful, and used everywhere. In marketing, in politics, in relationships, in cults. If you understand it, you can protect yourself. But if you master it, you can influence anyone, one yes at a time. If you found this video valuable, like and subscribe for more content on dark psychology, manipulation, and the tools of influence most people never see. Drop a comment. Have you ever been manipulated by the foot-in-the-door technique? Until next time, stay sharp.